What's new, crew? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you guys through a morning routine, and I honestly cannot remember the last time I filmed one of these, but a lot has changed since then. My days usually start around 6:10 when my alarm goes off, and I immediately get up and cook breakfast for my two big girls who are in school full-time. This day I had one request chocolate chip pancakes and one request blueberry muffins, which are in the oven. My older girls are 9 and 7, and they really don't need my help getting ready in the morning. So once I get breakfast done and it's kind of up and waiting for them, I will sit down and take this time when my two little kids are still sleeping and the house is pretty quiet to edit videos, do thumbnails, basically anything I need to do for YouTube. Some days they will come sit next to me and kind of chat with me while I do this. This morning they did not. I will let them know when it's time to get on the bus, of course, do all of the goodbyes and the hugs and whatnot, and see them off on the bus. And usually by this point it's around 7:30 or so, and I am making my brain dump list for the day. I live off of lists, pregnant or not, but especially pregnant, my brain fog is insane. And if I don't write it down, I will forget it. So I have to make my list right away in the morning. Otherwise, things that I intended to get done in the day just will not happen. Sometimes my two little kids are awake at this point in the day or in the morning, and sometimes they are not. I like to let my little kids sleep as long as they really need to. Of course, it'll hit a certain point and we will wake them up. But I have a duck here who has a little bit of a bum leg, so I'm helping her down and out of the coop and opening our small kind of regular chicken door here for everybody to come in and out. But this day they were still sleeping, so I did these chores by myself. I watered everybody and fed everybody, obviously let everybody out of the coop, and kind of let them start their day. I went ahead and made some hard-boiled eggs to pair with the leftover or the extra blueberry muffins that I made in the morning. And the other thing I wanted to do was refill our snack jars. So one thing I did ask my big girls this morning is, what kind of snacks do you want me to make for the snack jars? And this ranch mix was requested, as well as Rice Krispies. So that's what I ended up making, and I wanted to get this done and in the oven early in the morning because it was supposed to be really hot this day and I didn't want to be running the oven in the heat of the day. So we got it done right away. This is just oyster crackers, pretzels, goldfish. We're gonna slather it with some olive oil, and then we're going to sprinkle it with our ranch mix, and we are going to bake this in the oven for a very short amount of time, about 5 minutes or so on a really low heat, like 350-ish. And we're just going to basically let all of that ranch mix kind of adhere to all of the crackers and stuff. And then we just store it in a glass container and we're good to go. Rice Krispies, we all know how that works. Sometimes I'll throw in things like chocolate chips or melted peanut butter or something like that to kind of mix it up. I'll drizzle chocolate over the top, but this time I went with just plain Rice Krispie treats. That's been kind of my go-to the last like 2 times I've made these. And I just made a small batch of Rice Krispie treats for snacks and lunch boxes and whatever they needed. It's been a while since we've been out of homemade snacks, so it felt good to kind of get these done, plus all of the blueberry muffins that we had left over as well will also be used as kind of snacky snacks for everybody. One of the big things that I had on my to-do list this day was to go through our master closet here. This master closet has been a long time in the making. We kind of started this project like 3 years ago, and we've been slowly working on it and finishing it off. Well, last summer we officially moved into our new master bedroom that we finished off. And if you don't know, my husband was on the road pretty much for like 4 months last summer, pretty consistently, and I moved everything down here myself, and I went through all of my clothing at that time and got rid of a lot of things to donate, and I ended up just moving all of my husband's stuff down here. And we kind of went, well, you know, we'll go through it later. Well, later never came, so I went through it this day and kind of made a donation pile out of his stuff and rotated all of my stuff around because I wanted to make room for baby girl's stuff in here as well. I had it hanging up and I just didn't like the functionality of it. Decided that I was gonna put baby's stuff in the drawers here. So this morning, before I got my son on the bus, I really wanted to get these cleared out and kind of ready to fill. That way when we took a break to get him on the bus and me and my one child who is left home with me during the afternoon could take a break, have lunch, play outside for a while, just get out of the house, forget about the chaos that's happening down here and the to-do list that seems to be a mile long these days, and just relax. And then I would come back and finish it off in the afternoon while she was taking a nap. Of course, lots of breaks here with a toddler. So sometimes a project that should take an hour feels like it takes all day. And let me tell you, this project very much so did take all day, but it felt really good to get done. And of course, I have a big helper here as well. She loves to help. So I was just trying to let her help, and she was having so much fun putting all of these up. And when Dad got home, she was very excited to show Dad that she hung up all of his shirts. She was very proud of herself, and she did such a fantastic job. At that point, it was time to go ahead and get my son on the bus. So I got him on the bus for afternoon kindergarten, and I came upstairs, and Cleo and I had lunch. This day we had some apples and some oranges, which is a very typical side for us for lunches. Plus I made what is Cleo's absolute favorite lunch, which is either just like a grilled cheese or a hot ham and cheese sandwich, and I paired that with her favorite tomato soup. So that's what we had for lunch that day. After we ate, we ended up going down to the Ducks, which is Cleo's favorite place to be, her absolute favorite place. And because she was sleeping this morning when I did morning chores, this was her first time being out there during the day. We re-watered everybody and just kind of enjoyed watching the ducks kind of like swim around and waddle around. She loves it. She loves to feed them and do all the things. So we hung outside for a while. Of course, we played. We swung on the swings. I don't know the best way to say that, but we came in, and Cleo wanted to paint nails, so you can see she picked my nail color, and I painted her fingers, and she said she wanted to make cookies. So I went downstairs to grab a jar of pre-made cookie mix off of the canning shelf, and when I came back upstairs, she was asleep on the couch. So I made these cookies by myself while she napped, and then I went back downstairs to kind of finish off my closet project. I will link that video down below if you want to see like the end result of that and pulling out all the baby things and doing all of that stuff. But this is kind of a really typical morning into like early afternoon in my life with all of the kids running the homestead and getting all of the things done. I hope wherever you guys are, you're having a fantastic day. And of course, you know, I will catch you guys in another one. Bye.